framework unveiled on July 23, tariffs on Japanese goods entering the U.S. will be reduced to 15%, while Japan will invest $550 billion in the American economy. In return, Tokyo has agreed to cut its tariffs on U.S. auto imports from 25% to 15%. The U.S., meanwhile, will hold off on raising tariffs on Japanese products, which had been scheduled for August 1. In a separate report from the Wall Street Journal, Attorney General Pam Bondi allegedly informed President Trump in May that his name appeared several times in Justice Department files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The references were reportedly classified as unverified and dismissed by the White House as fake news. Canada's shifting tone. Across the border, Canada is rethinking its economic relationship with the U.S. amid stalled negotiations and growing frustration. Prime Minister Mark Carney has declared that the era of close integration with the U.S. is over. Canada, he says, must reduce its dependence on its southern neighbor. In a more direct rebuke, several provincial premiers have taken a tougher stance. British Columbia Premier David Eby's recent clash with U.S. officials drew widespread attention. On July 21, U.S. Ambassador Pete Hora accused Canada of being mean and nasty, citing Canadians' reluctance to travel south and bans on U.S. alcohol. Eby fired back, saying, "Keep it up. Keep buying Canadian. Keep your vacations, Canadian. If defending our economy, jobs, and sovereignty makes us mean and nasty, most Canadians would wear that proudly." Ontario Premier Doug Ford echoed those sentiments, expressing open distrust of President Trump. "I don't trust President Trump as far as I can throw him. He constantly changes his mind. You never know who you're dealing with." Ford noted that Canada remains America's top customer, buying $349 billion in U.S. goods annually, far more than Japan. Despite that, Canada continues to face tariffs on steel and aluminum. "We're not taking a back seat to anyone," he insisted. Ford outlined a broader vision of economic resilience, from coast to coast. Whether it's oil, small modular reactors, or critical minerals, we need to ensure Canadian products can reach global markets. On the idea of retaliatory tariffs, Ford added, "Before we hike tariffs to 50%, we need to stop cheap steel relabeled from China or Pakistan. Until Ottawa cracks down on that, matching Trump's levy makes no sense." He also struck a pragmatic tone on China, quoting Churchill, "The enemy of our enemy is our friend." While critical of Trump, Ford said, "As long as China plays fair and doesn't undercut our markets, I'm open to trade, but we're keeping the 100% tariff on Chinese-made EVs to protect our domestic industry." Team Canada. A united front. The message of unity carried over into a major summit of Canadian premiers in Huntsville, Ontario. Over 3 days, leaders gathered under the Team Canada banner to address U.S. trade tensions. Ontario Premier Ford opened by reminding attendees, "We buy more from the U.S. than Japan, Korea, China, Mexico, and the UK combined. Yet under Trump's tariffs, we get treated like an afterthought. We're done sitting quietly." Alberta Premier Danielle Smith added that a full U.S.-Canada trade renegotiation is unlikely this year, but pushed for sector-specific wins. "If we can strike a deal on autos, steel, timber, copper by August 1 Street, we'll call that progress." British Columbia's David Eby voiced frustration over $50 billion in stalled infrastructure projects due to lack of federal support. Still, he called for unity. "Let's get working on building this country." New Brunswick Premier Blaine Higgs noted that Trump's actions have actually brought provinces together more often. "We've had to prioritize trade talks over bail reform or immigration. It's forced us to align and move forward together." Provinces are also tackling internal trade barriers. Ford pointed to Ontario removing limits on interprovincial wine sales. Quebec Premier François Legault announced upcoming legislation to eliminate trade restrictions within Canada. And New Brunswick has already eased alcohol import rules and embraced direct-to-consumer sales. These efforts could boost Canada's GDP by $200 billion, or 5-6, by year's end. Despite frustrations with Ottawa, all premiers emphasized national unity. Premier Ford concluded, "United we stand, divided we fall. We're pushing back against one man, Donald Trump, and we're doing it together." As incoming chair of the Council of the Federation, Prince Edward Island Premier Rob Lance pledged to continue the spirit of collaboration. Pay may be small, but we've always played an outsized role. We'll protect our economic sovereignty and build this country together. Thanks for watching. As an independent channel, we rely on your support to keep bringing you these updates. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, check out the next video on your screen. We picked it just for you.